On a sweltering July day in 1956, inside the bustling RCA studios on 155 East 24th Street in New York City, something extraordinary was about to unfold. It was a day that would forever change the landscape of music. Elvis Presley, the king himself, was in the studio, and not just any session. This was a moment when the magic of recording was raw and unfiltered. No air conditioning to calm frayed nerves, no post-production fixes to cover mistakes. Just Elvis, the band, and the pressure of capturing a perfect performance on the first take. Elvis had come a long way since his early days at Sun Records, where every note, every mistake was permanent. Here in New York, the stakes were even higher. The legendary Sam Phillips, who had given Elvis his first break, was not there, but the spirit of innovation and risk-taking that Phillips had instilled in him still burned brightly. As the session began, the atmosphere was tense. Elvis, visibly tired from a grueling schedule of coffee, cigarettes, and vending machine snacks, knew he had to deliver. The engineer, Steve Scholes, had a reputation for being meticulous, and he made sure everyone knew it. Modern artists, Scholes had told them, can fix everything in post-production, but not Elvis. He has to get it right the first time. The first song they tackled was Hound Dog. Take after take, Elvis struggled. The drums were too loud, the mic was off, and Elvis's voice cracked under the pressure. Each failure felt like a blow, but Elvis didn't lash out. Instead, he took it as a challenge, a chance to prove himself. He was a man on a mission, focused solely on the music. The session dragged on with only a few decent takes to show for it. It was clear that something had to change. Then, suddenly, it happened. On take 18, everything clicked. The band grooved, the drums locked in, and Elvis's voice soared. It was as if he had tapped into a deep well of creativity, a state of flow that musicians call being in the zone. For a moment, the studio was electric. Elvis was happy, the band was with him, and the music was perfect. But even as they captured this magic on tape, Elvis wasn't satisfied. He wanted more. He took 31 takes, each one a quest for perfection. It was a testament to his drive, his passion, and his refusal to settle for anything less than the best. As the session wound down, Elvis knew it was time to head home to Memphis. The long train ride back would give him time to reflect on the day's events. But before he left, he took a moment to listen to the playback of take 18. He sat cross-legged on the floor, his head in his hands, and listened intently. When the take was over, a wide grin spread across his face. "This is the one," he said, his voice filled with joy and relief. Elvis's return to Memphis was met with the familiar sights and sounds of his hometown. But nothing could compare to the excitement of the new music swirling in his mind. On July 4th, he took the stage at Russwood Park, dressed in black with a red tie, ready to show his hometown why he was the king. As he sang, his voice cut through the night air, a sound that was both familiar and revolutionary. The crowd responded with raw emotion, sensing the authenticity and power of his performance. For 16-year-old Jack Baker, living next door to Elvis 9 months earlier, the experience was surreal. He remembered the sound that had first drawn him to Elvis, the same sound he was now witnessing live. It was a sound that spoke directly to him, a sound that made him feel seen and understood. In that moment, Jack knew he was part of something bigger, something that would change the world. Elvis Presley was more than just a singer. He was a force of nature, a man who refused to be defined by the expectations of others. He was becoming himself, and in doing so, he was changing the face of music forever. And as he stepped off the stage that night, the king knew he was just getting started. Elvis Presley's performances were electric, drawing crowds and creating a whirlwind of excitement wherever he went. One night, he opened with a classic, Heartbreak Hotel, setting the tone for a wild ride of music. He threw in some of his favorite songs like Mystery Train and I Got a Woman, showing off his incredible talent and energy. The crowd was on their feet, singing along to the familiar tunes. But it was when he brought out the Jordanaires for I Want You, I Need You, I Love You, and I Was the One that things really got intense. Elvis's voice, powerful and raw, filled the air. The women in the audience went wild, almost as if they were part of an ancient ritual, captivated by the intensity of his performance. Elvis wasn't just singing, he was telling a story, one that spoke to both sides of his audience, those who knew his country roots and those who loved his rock and roll edge. As he performed, Elvis moved with an unexpected grace. His right arm whirled in the air, his toes tapping out the rhythm, hips swaying to the beat. It was clear he was in his element, fully alive. But behind this dazzling display, there was a deeper story. His mother, Gladys, watched with a mix of pride and fear. She loved Elvis dearly, but worried about the changes in him. She remembered the days when he would sing about being a dog, trapped and crying, reflecting a pain she couldn't fully understand. Elvis's music was a blend of his experiences, his struggles, and his dreams, and it was becoming harder for her to reconcile the boy she knew with the star he was becoming. Elvis's relationship with June Juanico was a whirlwind of romance and reality. They shared thrilling moments fishing, riding horses, exploring Lake Pontchartrain. June was vibrant and full of life just like Elvis, but dating Elvis was no easy task. His unpredictable schedule meant long periods apart, and even when together, he was often preoccupied with his career. June quickly learned that being Elvis's girlfriend meant being second in line to his commitments. Birthdays were sometimes forgotten, and plans could change in an instant. Despite this, June loved Elvis fiercely, but the strain of their relationship began to show. Rumors swirled as newspapers reported Elvis and June were engaged, fueled by Elvis's own comments during an interview. However, his hectic lifestyle and the constant presence of other women like Natalie Wood made it clear the relationship was faltering. Elvis seemed to be at a crossroads, unsure if he had truly found love or if he was just living the glamorous life that came with fame. Meanwhile, the music world was about to witness a significant moment. Songwriter Mike Stoller, riding high on success, was on board the Italian liner Andrea Doriana when disaster struck. The ship was rammed and sank, but Stoller's fate was surprisingly positive. He was rescued and upon returning to New York discovered that his song Hound Dog had become a massive hit for Elvis Presley. It was a moment of immense joy for Stoller, a reminder that sometimes, even in chaos, great things can emerge. Elvis's rising star caught the attention of Ed Sullivan, the stern host of the most watched television show of the time. Sullivan had always kept a professional distance, but Elvis's popularity was impossible to ignore. After some hesitation, Sullivan agreed to feature Elvis, understanding that the young singer's appeal was too strong to resist. On September 9, 1956, with Sullivan out of town, Elvis performed on the show from Hollywood. Dressed in a plaid jacket and black pants, Elvis delivered a performance of Don't Be Cruel that was both silly and brilliant. His self-awareness and humor shone through, endearing him further to the audience. This performance was a turning point. Elvis was no longer just a regional sensation, he was a national phenomenon. His ability to connect with viewers through music and charisma was undeniable. Even Sullivan, who initially saw the young Elvis as a curiosity, couldn't deny the magic happening on screen. The performance marked the beginning of Elvis's journey to stardom, one that would change the face of music and culture forever. Elvis Presley's relationship with women was very open and passionate. He loved women a lot, more than many men his age. To him, being around women felt natural and enjoyable. This was something that many young girls and women felt too. They were drawn to him, sensing his genuine nature. Elvis was like a puppy around women, he was curious and trusting. He could be with them without hesitation, showing his true self. This made him unique. Many men might be more guarded, but not Elvis. His openness made him special. As Elvis grew, so did his relationships with women. He dated many famous actresses and even some regular girls from his hometown. There were stories and rumors about his love life that persisted long after he was gone. Some women even said he was with them after he died, showing how powerful his charm was. Elvis had a special way of loving. When he was with a woman, he gave it his all. He wasn't just going through the motions. This intense love was real to him, whether it was with a star or someone unknown. He lived in the moment, fully engaged. This behavior wasn't just about the women he dated. Elvis's attitude towards love influenced how he was seen by the public. It made him stand out as a figure who embraced life fully, not just in music but in how he lived his personal life. As Elvis's fame grew, so did the fascination with his personal life. People were not just fans of his music, they were captivated by the man himself. His relationship with women added to this mystique. Even today, many people, especially women, dream about what it would be like to be with someone as charismatic and genuine as Elvis. In the end, Elvis's love for women was a big part of who he was. It showed his ability to connect deeply with others, a trait that made him not just a musical icon but a cultural phenomenon. His approach to love and relationships left a lasting impression, reminding us of a time when stars were seen as real people with real emotions, just like us.